What is up, Star Wars fans? This is Darth Watts, and in this video, we're going to be going over episodes 1 through 3 of Andor Season 2, and this is a spoiler review for Andor Season 2. So, for those of you who don't want any spoilers, who haven't had the chance to who hasn't had the chance to watch episodes 1 through 3 yet, I highly recommend hopping off this video, and I will catch you in the next one for those of you who haven't seen episodes 1 through 3 and don't want any spoilers. But anyways, enough jibber jabber. So, episodes 1 through 3 of Andor was pretty interesting. I'm not going to rate it as the best right now because it's too early to judge whether or not season 2 is going to be even better than season 1 yet, even though the leaks have suggested it, and even though I've been saying that in my videos. But it looks like that it's getting somewhere, and it's off to a good start. Now, starting with Director Krennic, because we see Director Krennic in the first episode holding a meeting what Tarkin doesn't know about, and we see Dedra Meero, and Dedra Meero ends up in a relationship with Cyril Khan, which we all saw that was going to happen ever since we saw that moment in season 1 when Cyril Khan rescues Dedra Meero. But Dedra Meero and Cyril Khan get together, and that's later, not in episode 1, but that's later in the episodes. And then in episode 3, we get to see Cyril Khan and Cyril's mother meet Dedra, which we get to see Cyril's mother, who gets introduced to Dedra Meero. So Cyril's mother ends up meeting Dedra, and Dedra ends up in a relationship with Cyril Khan, which was something that we all knew was going to happen. But that was a big part in episode 3 of Andor season 2. And then we also get to see Cassian becoming more of a rebel. Like, we were seeing slowly as we watched the episodes how he's slowly changing as a character and becoming more of a rebel. And this season is supposed to change the way we look at Rogue One, a Star Wars story. We also get to see the ISB meetings, like the ISB, more of the ISB, and then the Mon Mothma rich parties. We get to see that as well in the first 3 episodes. And then we also get to see Mon Mothma's daughter ending up getting married, and there's a huge wedding party, and Mon Mothma realizes that she's not going to see her daughter again because her daughter's going away and getting married, and she's sacrificing everything, willing to give up everything to help the rebellion to defeat the Empire one day, which is a selfless act. And Mon Mothma's husband might end up taking the fall if Mon Mothma gets caught. That's also a speculation that's been brought up with these first 3 episodes. Now, I'm not going to break down these first 3 episodes scene by scene because you already see other Star Wars content creators doing that, like Star Wars Explained. But I'm just going to tell you my opinions and everything what I see from my perspective of the episodes. But so far, the episodes I would rate a 7 out of 10. It is definitely a good start. I'm not going to rate it as the best of Disney Star Wars yet, but probably will be later on. And episodes 4 through 6 come out on Tuesday, and not to mention that episode 1 picks up 1 year later. So it's 1 year after the events of Andor Season 1, and it does take place over the course of 4 years. So in between episodes, it's going to take place 1 year later for 1 through 3. 4 through 6 is another year later. 7 through 9 is another year later. And then 10 through 12 is another year later. And it leads up into Rogue One, a Star Wars story. And that's how that's part of how Andor Season 2 is going to change the way we look at Rogue One, a Star Wars story. But as far as everything goes, it's off to a good start. I'm not going to judge it too much because it's too early to judge whether Andor Season 2 is the best or not. But we'll have to wait for the next 3 episodes to come out, and I cannot wait to see what happens next, especially with all the stuff that's happening with Mon Mothma losing her daughter, and like there's a good chance that she may never see her daughter again, and we're gonna see a lot of things coming. We're gonna see a lot of things come into play, especially with the robberies that happen on Aldani in season one. Mon Mothma is a politician, and I'm somehow speculating still that we are going to see a cameo of Darth Sidious. I have a feeling that we are going to see a cameo at some point, especially with the politics that's heavily involved in Andor season 2 and Mon Mothma as a politician speaking for the Senate. We're probably going to see Palpatine at some point in season 2 as a cameo in the Senate. We're definitely going to see a cameo of Palpatine and Palpatine's involvement, especially with the robberies of the Empire, the growing Rebel Alliance, all of those issues. We're going to see Palpatine at some point. And then we're going to see Tarkin at some point, but probably just as a cameo because Lucasfilm got sued for the CGI Tarkin that they did in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, but they'll still probably have like a cameo of Tarkin. Maybe it's going to be unused footage from Star Wars Episode 4, who is where they have the actor as Tarkin, but they write around that scene, and that will be a Tarkin scene in Andor season 2, but Tarkin is not. If Tarkin is definitely going to be in season 2, but he's probably not going to be. He's probably not going to have much screen time because of all the lawsuits with Lucasfilm trying to settle it outside of court, all the legal battles with the Tarkin actor's family, who is suing Lucasfilm for doing the CGI of Moff Tarkin. But anyways, that's all I have to say for this video. Do make sure to smash a like, subscribe, comment, and I will catch you all later in another video.